We used to say that content is king, but that isn't ringing as true anymore. Why do you think we're moving away from that?
So there are 4.6 billion pieces of content produced every single day. And it's no surprise that we're facing content overload because of that. And the new focus has really become quality over quantity as a result. And to succeed, we really need to create better, more targeted content that really engages and converts your specific audience. So it's all about crafting high quality pieces that address what your audience needs at each stage of that customer journey. So while content may no longer be king, it's also not dead. It just demands a new approach.
How has your approach to blogging changed over the past year?
Most importantly, blogging still generates over about 75% of organic search traffic, and it's still very much worth the effort. But the emphasis has shifted from frequency to impact. So we want to publish great content less frequently rather than churning out generic content consistently. And this approach not only boosts your SEO, but also establishes real thought leadership and builds that audience trust, which, as we know, are critical factors for long term success.
There has never been more content than there is today. So tell me, what's the secret to creating successful content right now?
Successful content needs to, number one, get found, obviously, and then hook the reader, keep them engaged, and ultimately guide them towards action. So to stand out, we need to provide real value to the audience through unique data, perspectives, engaging visuals, actionable insights, and compelling copy. And this level of content does require more time up front, but it will pay off on the back end. So if you have 6 hours, say, of time dedicated to content, I'd rather write one really good blog than two generic ones.
Based on how much content creation is changing with generative AI, how do you think content distribution will change in 2025?
So omnichannel integration is really key in 2025. You should be utilizing multiple platforms, whether that's website, social, podcast, email, and forums, and then adapt that content specifically to each channel. And the focus should be on meeting your audience where they are and creating kind of a cohesive brand experience across all those touch points. So while we're creating less content overall, we are getting more out of it by remixing it across channels.
Tell me, what types of interactive content do you see trending right now?
So interactive content experiences like live events, Q&A sessions, user-generated content, quizzes, polls, virtual tours, and demos are all really trending right now. So you should consider incorporating new technologies as well, things like AR filters, VR experiences, and AI-powered chatbots. These tend to increase engagement and provide that unique value to your audience. These interactive elements do often require specialized skills or partnerships to implement, but they can be absolutely worth it to set your content apart.
Tell me the difference between updating existing content versus creating new content. What's more important right now?
So, updating old content has become really crucial. 68% about of content ranks higher after updates. So, your content strategy should include regularly refreshing existing content to maintain that relevance and improve SEO performance. And this approach helps maximize the value of your content investments over time and also can be really beneficial if you have an extensive content library.
Do you have any new tips for speaking directly to your target audience as of recent generative AI developments?
So, audience understanding is really key. Your content should be tailored to different stages of the customer journey, whether that's awareness, consideration, or decision. And we've seen the success of 7+ word keywords in B2B really demonstrate that audiences have very specific questions. So, through audience research and detailed buyer personas, you can ensure that content is directly addressing those unique needs. And this level of audience insight often requires dedicated resources or expert guidance, but it's ultimately super invaluable for content strategy.
How would you recommend creating content right now? Like, what would your ideal process look like?
I think an effective content creation process follows an iterative approach. So, testing content ideas on social is a really good place to start. And from there, you can expand successful posts into things like short form videos. and then go on to develop top performers into longer form content like blog posts. Ultimately, you can turn what's best performing from that into content, lead magnets or webinars. And this really ensures that your content resonates before you invest a significant resource, which is crucial for businesses of any size.
Let's talk numbers. How have content metrics evolved, and what should we be wary of?
So there's been this shift away from vanity metrics, things like clicks, views, or follower counts, and now you should focus on the metrics that show real engagement and action. Things like time on page, bounce rate, and revenue generated. And in order to track these metrics, you should set up robust analytics and reporting systems so then you can measure your content performance and then also justify your content marketing investments.
How can we leverage data and insights to refine our content strategies?
Data-driven decision making right now is just at the forefront of all content strategy in 2025. You should be doing things like analyzing social media conversations, tracking the engagement metrics, studying website traffic patterns, and then conducting surveys to gather direct feedback. So once you implement these robust analytic tools and then regularly review performance data, you can create a more targeted and effective content.
What is the keyword gap trap, and how can we avoid it?
The keyword gap trap is focusing solely on the keywords that your competitors are ranking for, but you're not. A more effective approach would consider whether these keywords are actually profitable and are aligning with what your audience needs. So the key takeaway here is just balance your competitive keyword analysis with a deep understanding of your unique audience search intent and the need for better results.
People can't stop talking about AI. So tell me, what is generative engine optimization, or GEO, and why is it so important?
GEO is optimizing your content for AI-powered search experiences like Google's SGE. And right now, it's a really hot topic because GEO can boost visibility by up to 115% for smaller websites and 40% overall. And GEO techniques include using an authoritative writing style, optimizing keywords, citing sources, and incorporating relevant statistics. And the emphasis here should be on creating unique content that either communicates familiar concepts in new and exciting ways or bringing new information to the table.
How much should we be using AI for content generation, and what are its limitations?
AI is a useful tool, but you shouldn't use it to produce all of your content. The AI generated content kind of lacks the authenticity and human expertise that audiences crave right now.
Yeah, I saw just the other day about 62% of readers prefer human generated content to AI generated content.
Yeah, exactly. It's your most effective strategies will be using it to augment the content creation process, but not replace it entirely. And that human touch is what is going to make your content stand out. Striking the right balance between using the AI efficiency, but also adding in that human creativity is going to be a challenge for marketers in 2025.
How can we leverage data and insights to refine our content strategy?
Data-driven decision making is at the forefront of content strategy in 2025. So you should be doing things like looking at the conversations happening on social media and tracking those engagement metrics.
I think also studying how people are navigating your website is really important, and conducting surveys to gather direct feedback can help as well.
Yeah, exactly. And by implementing those robust analytic tools and regularly reviewing the performance data, then you can create more targeted and effective content.